I'm not one of those like third degree separation types of people. I'm not an associationalist. I do believe in biblical separation for sure. But I don't go to those. I don't know if you've run across anyone. The woke people are the worst at this, but well, you know someone, or you're friends with someone who's friends with someone who's friends with someone who's friends with someone, and that person's problematic. Therefore, you're problematic, right? And this is this is a lot of people will say that's what fundamentalists did, right? Well, if it is, that's exactly what the social justice crowd has borrowed from their fundamentalist parents and grandparents. So I'm not just to preface, I'm not going to bring you this information to I'm not trying to take a snipe at Keith and Kristyn Getty here. I'm not trying to be unfair to them. I'm not trying to say you got to stop listening to their music. Some of you might make that decision, and that's fine. If you make that decision, I have no problem with that. I just wouldn't impose it on other people. Here's the issue, and I'm going to add to my thread a little bit. But here's the question I asked. Keith and Kristyn Getty are platforming Isaac Adams, Blair Lynn, Trillia Newbell, Shai Lynn, Steve Nichols, and Danny Akin at their Sing conference. And here's what I'll add to that. I've seen for the past few years at their other conferences, they've had a number of other woke individuals as well at these conferences. Jackie Hill Perry's been there. I'm not even sure who all, but I've noticed there's been, I think Ed Stetzer, if I'm not mistaken, was at one of their Sing conferences. They've had some people that are definitely on the wrong side of the social justice debate, some of whom I question whether they're even Orthodox Christians, but they will platform them. And at the very least, people who have been compromised in some way, who honestly, I'm not sure what they have to do with singing. Some of them at least. Not sure. But it seems to me that more and more, and they have some good people too, by the way. Don't get me wrong. There's some good voices coming to some of these things, and people that know music and know theology music and stuff that are giving some teachings. And so I'm not saying that that's all. Some people I think said or took it that I was saying that's all there was. It's not all there is, no. But these people are platformed, and others that I didn't mention. I just wanted to give this as kind of a sample. So the question I had is, I appreciate some of their music, but I have to ask, what would prevent them from inviting Jim Wallace? What's the standard? And that's a serious question. Why not have Jim Wallace come talk? I mean, if it's not about people who know music well, because there's clearly some people in there that don't, that I don't really know why they'd be going, other than perhaps they're popular in other realms, and I don't know. So someone who doesn't know music well, someone who doesn't even know music or theology well, as some of these people are, and you're going to invite them, why not have a Jim Wallace come? Why not have a Ron Sider come? Why not have, I don't know, Richard Malcolm, or these original social justice warriors from the 70s? And the reason that they won't have a Jim Wallace come is because he's too far left. He's politically left. He was Obama's advisor. They may not even know who he is, but I don't think they'd have him come because he's too far out there. He even now believes in gay marriage, I think, and stuff like that. But what level of compromise is acceptable? That's the question. That's the root of this. What's the standard they're using? And what I'm getting at, and I'm not accusing them of this at this point, I'm just asking, is this just about like a popularity thing? Is this just about getting people in who will attract people for your conference? That's what it appears to possibly be, by reducing down the other options. But I don't know. So I'm asking. And then I gave examples. I said, to illustrate, here's Isaac Adams. And here's some of the quotes from him. This is just a sample. June 2nd, 2020. I appreciate the letters dropping in my inbox from a few large companies I have patronized, saying they are in support of Black Lives Matter, Black Lives, and donating money to Black organizations that will back critical justice reform. Oh, education and economic rights, among other things. Critical justice reform. Isaac Adams, August 8th, 2018. On Monday, my friends Jarvis Williams and Curtis Woods will release The Gospel in Color, a theology of racial reconciliation for families. This is chock full of CRT, guys. I have it. Maybe I'll go over it someday. Isaac Adams, from 2017. Young black males were 21 times more likely to be killed by police than their white counterparts between 2010 and 2012, according to federal statistics from, stamped from the beginning by Ibram, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Ibram X. Kendi. He's reading Kendi. That's critical race theory, guys. Here's Blair Lynn. Blair Lynn. Diversity helps to expose our blind spots. Some Christians are concerned about a social gospel infiltrating our churches and yet blind to the patriotism. She doesn't even say nationalism. The patriotism, racism, and white supremacy taught alongside the gospel for hundreds of years in our country. Patriotism, that's so bad. Jesus was a refugee, Matthew 2. You have someone coming and speaking at your conference who I'm pretty sure, maybe she's a poet or something. I don't think she sings, but you have someone coming and speaking at your conference on singing specifically who can't even figure out that Jesus wasn't a refugee. Thinks that Matthew 2 should be interpreted that Jesus was a refugee. Oh, okay, all right. I appreciate the letters dropping in my inbox from a few large companies I patronize saying, oh wait, hold on. Isn't this the same thing I just read? I think it is. Maybe I double posted something here. I did. I already read that to you. That was, that I attributed that to Isaac Adams and it's Blair Lynn. I just caught that. I didn't realize that I had accidentally did that. Okay. So you already heard that quote. All right. Here's Trillia Newbell. Thanks for the encouragement, all. I'm doing well. But the next time your brother or sister expresses sorrow over their experiences, believe them and get to work with them. Okay, I'm done for now. And I think I saw a variation of racism not being an opinion from Bernice King. She's talking about minorities who experience racism and that they have the right to be believed. Really? So just because someone has an experience means you must believe them and get to work with them? One day there will be a post-Trump era, and I just wonder if we'll look back at our feeds and broken relationships and divided churches and inconsistent witness and wonder if it was worth it. We will need to be ready to repent and forgive, all of us. It's interesting. Here's another one. Grateful for all the articles and sermons being shared regarding social justice and the gospel. Hoping to list resources soon, but you can find many at the ERLC, Russell Moore, Thabiti and Abuile, the Gospel Coalition, Jamar Tisby, and Letitia Morrison, and more. Yeah, the who's who of bad theology and bad history right there. Here we have Shailin. Fighting against racial injustice is not a liberal issue or a democratic issue. It's a gospel issue. Ephesians 2:16. He can't even get Ephesians 2 right, and you want him to come speak on singing? This is beautiful. Bubba Wallace, a black NASCAR driver, found a noose in his garage stall yesterday. His fellow white drivers came out to support him today. Christians have something infinitely greater than racing that unites us. May we lead the way in displaying true unity. Scribing lies, supporting lies, and that's a good thing. Through my tears, I wrote down some thoughts about how I'm processing George Floyd. And you can go to Gospel Coalition, read George Floyd and Me. I think I did something on it. A.D. Robles did something on it. Not good. Stephen Nichols. Stephen Nichols works with Reformation Bible College for Ligonier. I've gone through some of his writings in Jesus Made in America, and here's some things he said. He praises Jim Wallace in his 2008 book, Jesus Made in America. And he says, quote, Jim Wallace made a fairly good case that there are issues on the right that would be difficult to connect to Jesus. He said that Wallace made a profound observation concerning conservatives who attribute poverty to immorality by calling them, quote, mean and, quote, stupid. Yeah, okay. In warning about the negative impact of, quote, consumer culture and its dehumanizing and oppressive effects on both people and ecology, Nichols lauded Wallace's, quote, community economics, which cut against Western capitalism and market economies. Stephen Nichols. Now, look, I don't know. Stephen Nichols, I don't know a whole lot about. I mean, he runs in some fairly what you consider to be orthodox circles. But I know those things aren't good. So I'm just asking, if he likes Jim Wallace so much, why not just have Jim Wallace? Just invite Jim Wallace to come and speak. Why not? I didn't think Stephen Nichols had an album out or anything. I didn't think he was, and I certainly didn't think Danny Akin had one. And I posted the video of the audio of Danny Akin basically saying that he supports critical race theory while saying he doesn't, and contradicting himself and sounding interesting. In a podcast, by the way, where his co-host, another professor at Southeastern, was blaming Trump and the Proud Boys for things, and that's shocking that Christians would ever be involved with, voting for Donald Trump and this kind of thing. So that's the Gettys. The question is, why platform all of these people? Are their conferences getting so big? Are they so successful now that, they want them to be more successful? And this is something I've seen over and over. And here's the concern, guys. And I'm not calling them heretics or anything like that. What I'm saying is something that we should all be aware of. We should all be aware of, guys, myself included, myself at the front of the line in this, to be aware of. The more popular that you can get, the more opportunity for compromise, and the more you think you can do it on your own strength. I've felt that. I've felt that before, and it's a lie. It's wrong. Every good gift is from the Father above and comes down from him. We don't have anything that he has not given us. We rely on him. But you get to a point when you form a lot of relationships, really, and they're really business alliances, not just relationships. You form business alliances with people, and you have mutually beneficial relationships that you form that put a lot of money in your pocket, maybe give you some prestige. In my opinion, right now is not the time to be building really ministries. I mean, I'm building some things, but it's the time to fight. We're in a crossroads in every institution. And you have people that are on the other side of this. They are on the other side of not just the political battle, but the theological battle. People who confound the gospel with social justice and think that they're related somehow. Like Shylin, unfortunately, as I read you that quote. So I think it's a sad thing. I don't know them personally, so I don't know how they feel about this. I have talked to people who know them personally, and I will tell you this. I have been asked to pray for them before this, months before this. I've been asked, and I was told exactly what I just told you, that they have gotten more popular and their conferences have gotten more popular, and to pray for them because they are putting themselves in positions that could be very potentially compromising and perhaps already are. So nothing against them or their music personally. In fact, I'm all for them. But this has to end. If you can only invite a few people to your conference, only invite a few people. But you can't be inviting people who can't interpret scripture very well, who are compromised when it comes to their understanding of the gospel itself, and who are on the wrong side of biblical ethics in such a fundamental way that it would have to, their concept of justice, if applied to the gospel, would ruin the gospel. So why would you have someone like that? And then why not have Jim Wallace then? Why not invite them all in? Why not have all the members of, have Jeremiah Wright, have Warnock, invite Warnock to come to your Sing conference, right? Why not? Oh, he disagrees with us on abortion, well, that's just one issue, right? Where's the line? Where's the line?